Hi there! Before we start, I would love to show you the new way to contribute to the Hanami Mastery content. We build this thing together, so if you know amazing gems you wish me to talk about or have amazing ideas for future screencasts, now you can suggest them by opening a new discussion on GitHub discussion threads. To do so, just click on the Suggest Topic button, linked at the very bottom of any episode or article published on the Hanami Mastery. Now, let me start this episode topic. Recently, I had some fun with Hanami actions, and this time I will dig a little bit into the routing part of it. Routing is one of the basic components of any web application. This is an interface of your application for the clients who use it. In this episode, I will dig a bit into the hanami-router from the usage point of view, covering why it's great and how to work with it. I'm going to start by writing a test file for my new routes. Usually, I don't show it on the screencasts, but I'm a big fan of the test-driven development, and whenever possible, I'm trying to practice it during the real development. To write routing tests, I will create a new routes spec file under spec/web folder. One of the best things about Hanami is that most parts of the application can be unit tested, and the routing part is not an exception. Actually, the fact that Hanami is so easily testable is one of the reasons why I like this framework so much. I will use rspec as a testing framework because it's the default in all Hanami projects, and I love it a lot. First of all, I will get the application router object and assign this to the variable. Having that, I can write a few tests for my routes. Let's say I want to have an application that has a landing page and allows me to list people subscribed to my channel or create new subscriptions. There are two ways to test if the endpoint for the given URL exists. To check if those routes are present, I will verify the path generation of my named routes. I want to expect if the router's path named route serves the expected URL. When I will run this test, it will pass out of the box because the Hanami application comes with the route URL being served by default. Analogously, I'm going to check the remaining paths by adding check comparison to the other two routes. Remaining two tests, however, of course won't work, as I don't have any custom routes defined yet, and all tests except the route check fail saying that there is no named route defined. Let me then create them. In the routes configuration file, I'm going to add a new get route, recognizing the /subscriptions URL. Then I will name it subscriptions and serve by using a custom inline rack response. If you have any experience with rack applications, it might be familiar to you. Hanami routes is fully rack compatible and can be used to write any web server in Ruby, not only for Hanami applications. It's extremely fast and stable thanks to the great work of Luca Guidi, and if you are curious how it works in details, please check out his talk about Hanami API when he explains in details the mechanism he used to optimize it for any possible use case. Now let me add the second route, which will be post type of route, named subscribe, and returning a 201 status code as a response, with the thank you message. With this, all my tests are passing now without any issues. But it's not all we can do to test our application routing properly. A single application endpoint stores much more information than just a path. First part of a route is an HTML method, which tells if it's a get, post, patch, put or delete method. Then you have the path information, which consists of static and dynamic segments. Those are identified as URL parameters and merged with the query parameters attached after the question mark character. This is quite a bit information, and in Hanami, you may get access to all that information by writing a reverse test scenario. In the test file, instead of taking the route name as an argument and check the generated path, I can instead pass the generated path to the recognized method and verify if all the information from this route is properly served by our application. Therefore, I can check the path, HTML method, and all the params recognized by my router correctly. I will aggregate the expectations to achieve nicer output and run the test to show you the error messages. As you can expect, this test fails, and to fix it, I will add the missing route to the app. This fixes our test examples, allowing us to verify if the whole router's behavior is correct and all information from the URL is recognized properly. Router in Hanami is a full-featured RAG routing engine. I only covered the basics in this episode to show how to test the routing part in Hanami and any other Ruby application that uses the hanami-router. There are many other features you might be interested in though. For example, you can check if the route redirects you to another URL. The test for that would be pretty similar to what we have seen before, but now we can make sure that the redirect method returns true and the redirection path is expected. Then I would just need to add the redirection route to my app. And now my test passes again. I recommend checking out Gem's documentation, where you might learn about other cool features like mounting whole RAG applications inside your Hanami app, using scopes to group multiple rows together, and many more. hanami-router is a great standalone routing engine you might include in any Ruby web server. It's extremely fast, fully featured, and well tested. I hope this episode helped you understand how to work with it and test it in Hanami applications. Unfortunately, it's all I have for you today. I hope you have enjoyed this episode and learned something new. If you want to see more content in this fashion, subscribe to my YouTube channel and enable the notification bell to never miss a new video. This really helps any channel to grow. To get information about more advanced content I'm preparing, join to my newsletter and follow me on Twitter. I want to especially thank my recent sponsors, Bill Tihan, Akilas Yemane, and Salon.com for supporting this project. I really appreciate it. By helping me with a few dollars per month creating this content, you are helping the open source developers and maintainers to create amazing software for you. And remember, if you want to support my work even without money involved, the best you can do is to like, share, and comment on my episodes and discussion threads. Help me add value to the open source community. As usual, here you can find 2 of my previous videos. Thank you all for watching, you are awesome, and have a nice rest of your day.